Hello, welcome to Skills and It Consulting. Today we are going to do classic CBSE Social Science lesson number one, and this in this I'm going to just give you introduction. So, introduction to the first lesson. Have you ever seen the night sky? Isn't it really wonderful? So, what you're seeing is here is the view of the night sky. And initially, what happens once initially you just observe one or two shining bright dots, right? But soon, what will happen? The number will increase, and you will see so many tiny, tiny shining dots. You cannot even count them eventually. The whole sky would be filled with these tiny shining objects. Some of them you could see would be bright, others dim. It looks as if this whole sky is studded with diamonds, isn't it? They all, and obviously they all appear to be also twinkling. But if you look at them carefully, you will notice that some of them do not twinkle as others do. Some twinkle and some don't. They simply glow without any flicker, just as the moon shines. So they shine, but they don't really flicker if you really observe carefully. Along with these bright objects, you may also see the moon on most of the days. It may, however, appear at different times in different shapes and at different positions. So, along with stars, what you also see on the sky is the moon. So, and unlike stars, moon on different days it's of different size and different shape, isn't it? Sometimes we can see the full moon only once in a month, about another month, which is full moon night or Purnima. A fortnight later, you cannot see it at all, right? So one day you see full moon, and after fortnight you cannot even see moon. So that is called as new moon night or Amavasya, what we say in Hindi or in India. On this day, you can watch the night sky best, provided it's a clear night. So when you don't have moon, or on the new moon day, you can really very clearly see all the other shining objects. Do you wonder why we can't see the moon and all the bright tiny objects during daytime? Have you ever thought about it? That why is it that we see all these things only in the night? That's because the very bright light of the sun does not allow us to see all these bright objects in the sky, because the sun's light is so bright that it covers everything else, and in that brightness we won't be able to see anything. So it does not mean that these objects are not there in the sky, they're there, but because of the sun's brightness we cannot see them. So, the sun, the moon, and all those objects shining in the night sky are called celestial bodies. So, all these things together are called as celestial objects. So, let's see what are stars. Some celestial bodies are very big and hot. They're made up of gases. They have their own heat and light, which they emit in large amounts. These celestial bodies are called as stars. In fact, our sun is also a star. Now, countless twinkling stars in the night sky are similar to sun. So, as I told you, sun is also a star. So, all the other stars that you see is also like sun. But the difference is we do not feel that heat or light, and they look so tiny because they're very, very far away from us. Now, you can ask me that, when you said sun is a star, but sun is so bright, but why aren't the other stars so bright? The reason being sun is closer to us, whereas the other stars are really very, very far from us. So you must have noticed that all objects look smaller when seen from a distance, right? So that's why all the other stars look smaller and the sun looks really big. For example, how small an aeroplane looks when it is flying at a great height, right? So if you see, it can seat hundreds of passengers, 300, 400 passengers, but when you see it in the sky, when it is very far away from you, it's very, very small. While watching the night sky, you may notice various patterns formed by different groups of stars, right? So, if you observe carefully, you can make patterns out of the stars. These are called constellations. So, you can see some of the constellations here in the video. One of the major constellation is Ursa Major or Big Bear. It's also one such constellation. So, it's a group of stars that makes up, a pattern. One of the most easily recognizable constellation is the Saptarishi, or the Sapta means seven and Rishi means sages. So Saptarishi means the seven sages. It's a group of seven stars that forms a part of Ursa Major constellation. Now let's study something about North Star. In ancient times, people did not really have GPS or all these things or compass. So what they used to do is, they used to determine directions during the night with the help of stars. So they would look at the stars and they would determine, what exactly, which position are they in. So the North Star indicates the north direction. It's also called pole star. So whenever they would see North Star, they would realize that that is the north direction. It always remains in the same position in the sky. We can locate the position of the pole star with the help of Saptarishi. So if you extend the line of the Saptarishi, that is your North Star. So now let's see what are planets. Some celestial bodies do not have their own heat and light. They are lit by the light of the stars. Such bodies are called as planets. So these are also celestial bodies, but unlike stars, they do not have their own heat and light. They take the light of the other stars and they brighten up. These bodies, celestial bodies, are called as planets. The word planet comes from the Greek word planetai, which means wanderers. In fact, the Earth on which we live is also a planet. It gets all its heat and light from the sun. So the Earth does not produce its own heat and light. We get all the heat and light from the sun, which is our nearest star. So if you look at the Earth from a great distance, say the moon. So imagine you go to the moon and look at the Earth. It will also appear to be shining just as the moon. So here you can see this is the surface of the moon and this is the Earth. So this is how the Earth will look from the surface of the moon. It will also shine just like how we see moon. The moon that we see in the sky is a satellite. It's a companion of our Earth and moves around it. So, what does the moon do? It keeps rotating around the Earth. Like our Earth, there are seven other planets that get heat and light from the sun. So, as I said, Earth gets its heat and light from sun, its nearest star. Similarly, there are other planets too that get their heat and light from the sun. In fact, some of them have their own moons. Like we have our moon, the other planets have their moons too. So that's it for today. In my next video, I'll tell you all about the solar system and all the other celestial bodies. Keep watching our video. Bye for now.